In this lesson, we're going to be going over ProDiscover Basic. There are a lot of programs that actually will support your forensic analysis, and Technology Pathways has this program called ProDiscover. In addition to the commercial paid-for version, there is a basic version that gives you just basic functionality, and you can download this for free from their website. Now, you're not going to get a lot of capabilities because you get that in the commercial paid-for version, but there are some basic functionality here, which of course is why it's called ProDiscover Basic. It does have some basic functionality which may help you along and give you some data that you may find difficult to get in other ways. So I'm going to give this a file name here, and we've given it a project number. Now I can capture an image. So if I've got a hard drive attached to my machine that I want to capture an image for, I can use this capture and add image. I could actually just open up a disk that's attached to my system, or I could use an image file. And in this case, I'm going to use an image file, and I'm going to go into downloads, and I've actually got an image here for a Windows XP system. Now I can go into my images, and if I pop that open, you can see there are actually two hard drives that are in this particular image. So there's a C drive and there's a D drive. Now the interesting thing that you'll see here is you can see all of the metadata. So you can see the master file table, and the master file table is a component of NTFS, and it stores all of the data about the files that are on the hard drive. So if I open up the MFT here, we should be able to get a list of the files. So you see right here, kind of on the right-hand side, $ATTRDEF, that's the file name for a file that's in the root of this hard drive. So if I were to just keep scrolling down, you'll see $boot and $badclus and $secure. So I've actually opened up the master file table, and the data about all of these files, of course, is stored in binary, so I'm not going to be able to read it. So what you get is really a bunch of gibberish, except for the file name that shows up pretty clearly in ASCII, because of course the file name would be in ASCII. Now, there's not really much of anything on this particular hard drive other than these meta files. So I've got the boot file and the bitmap file, and as I said, the MFT file that we've been looking at. So I could open up deleted files. There's not actually anything there. So let's move on to the C drive. Now, again, we've got the same things on this drive as we did on the other. So we've got the MFT again. And again, you can see all of the file names that are there, just as they were on the other hard drive. So we've still got the MFT, and we've also got the log file. And the log file is all of the changes that have happened to this particular file system. That log file allows us to ensure the integrity of the file system. So I've got all of these files here in my C drive, and I've got, looks like a lot of directories that look kind of like junk. It's entirely possible that there is some malware on this hard drive. Let's open up Documents and Settings. We can go into Administrator, and we can go into My Documents here. You can see in red there are files that are alternate data stream files. So right here, the file extension is identifier. That's because there's an identifier with this bo2k.zip or bo2k_1_1_6a.zip more specifically. Now this identifier actually indicates to the operating system that this file was downloaded from the internet. Even though you can't tell that from the bottom, I know from both experience and where this particular file came from that that's actually what this alternate data stream is telling you. Now, we've got a couple of alternate data streams there. We've also got some alternate data streams down here. So we've got, looks like some pornography, although these are actually 0 bytes, so there's not really anything there. But there's some alternate data streams in this directory here that are attached to this file, notes.txt. So one thing that ProDiscover allows me to do, so I can search for files named porn01. And it doesn't actually say whether it's going to look for just this section. Now you'll see if under search for the patterns, I could do match whole word or not match whole word. But if I do files, it just says named porn01. Let me actually attach the file extension here. And I've got to select the C drive. And now we can go whizzing off to try to find those files. So you can see that you've got just some basic functionality here with ProDiscover. The commercial version or the full version would give you the ability to go into more detail in an automated way. And of course, when you're done, and I canceled it, but you can see that it did find some files that were actually named that. Now, when you're done, you can actually generate a report and it will give you some data that was found and put it in a useful, readable way. So you've got some reporting capabilities with this program as well. But what it does give you the ability to do is visually look at the hard drive and be able to search for data in particular ways. And of course, it will also just break out things like alternate data streams and show you hidden files, directories, and just give you the data in a very raw fashion. That's ProDiscover Basic. And again, if you're just getting started and want something that doesn't cost any money to be able to run under Windows and be able to do some simple forensic examinations with, you may be able to give ProDiscover Basic a try and get started with it and see what its capabilities are and how far you can go with that.